welcome back everyone. Here we are after 6 days of building. Oops, thought I had, oh, they came undone when I moved it. But got our lamp built into our little table here. Came out a desk, I guess. Really looks pretty good. I'm gonna disconnect that and move it out of the way. Looking, I think, made some good progress. Got most of our pieces. I got a couple. I think it's going to be tomorrow finishing up on this one, but there's an outside shot. If everything goes perfect, we can get done tonight. I'm not counting on that happening though. But I think it's really looking good. I think once we get everything assembled, as a matter of fact, I believe, I don't think there's any reason not to go ahead and glue these guys. Oh, wait a second. There is a reason not to glue these guys in place yet. I'm going to sort of set you up here with this little picture. Oh yeah, while I get this ready, if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures and how hopefully fix my inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just try and have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, just building silly little models, having a bit of fun. If you've seen any kits or builds or sets you want to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on my list. And I've got the most intelligent audience on YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best of options. With that being said, let's jump in. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't think it's time to do this yet, but I'm going to go ahead and stick it on just because it's here and it seemed like a convenient time to not lose that picture when it's up before it's all said and done. And while I'm gluing, I'm going to go ahead and glue everything else into. I'm going to glue these guys down, and that way it can be sort of dried and ready to go after a while. Just a couple of drops across the back. You know what I'm going to put? Just, I think actually that's going to be this most. My box is sticking out there a little bit, so just to ease you down and about like so. And then hit each one of my feet. I think this is officially like later on in the instructions, but I don't see any reason not to go ahead and lock them down now. Pull this in as it's going so I can line up, hopefully, sort of squared up the shelf. Alright, now gently set you aside. Let that glue get situated. And we'll move on over to what I'm supposed to be doing tonight, which is, I don't think I've done anything like this before, so it'll be a new learning experience. I'm gonna supposedly make a planter up and wrap it to make it look like a wicker base. I say supposedly because I'm cautiously optimistic about it making this happen. Let me get my instructions shut on me. Okay, so we got our guy here, and I'm gonna, like I do anything I curl, sort of try and get it pre-curled a little bit for me so I can. I'm supposed to line up the dashes there to make it sort of wider at the top. Okay. So that's our. All thumbs here tonight. It may not be showing it. There's a dashed line there that I'm trying to line up my edge with. Something like that, yes. And, get it to. Keep wanting to go straight. It needs to be a little. I don't guess it really matters as long as we got something to wrap it with, but I'd like to at least attempt to follow the instructions. Sometimes. I ignored them enough last night. I don't have. I wish there's a little more. Okay, I may I don't think it's going to let me. I can't get it to open up properly. I can't. Maybe we can just do it sort of parallel to it. I'm missing the. Okay, I'm going to try with the B7000. This is one of the things where the super glue might be too quick for me, so I don't have time to adjust it. I think it's going to be an issue. So hopefully I can get enough sticking with the B7000. Just a little drop on there. That's what. Okay, so it seems to be trying to stick. Okay, I don't have anything. Okay, I'm going to clamp down my tweezers. Well, or not. Back here. Anyway, sort of clamp that in place. Let it dry while I'm going to do some pruning on my tree to make the plant. Maybe and this is what we're going to make the dirt out of too, by the way. So just to cut off what looks like 3 or 4, as I'm thinking, looks like about right here for the main branch, and then 4 more smaller off of these guys. I think it's interesting looking branches and shoots and whatnot. It's got some different colors to it. Let's do it. So lighter and darker gradients, I guess. And it says 4 branches. Let's do. I think got a couple. Okay. So, I think that's going to make my plant. Now I'm supposed to unwrap this one. Maybe. Actually, it says to unroll it. Supposed to be a sheet of paper in there somewhere. And I've got my good tweezers over there. Okay. Let's see. Do anything with these. Okay. Doesn't want to be unrolled, I don't think. Finally come. Okay. Well, that was a long and tedious process. Actually, it says we're supposed to only have 7 centimeters of that stuff, so that's, how long is it total? It's 14, so in half. So just over. And then after all that work unwinding it, we roll them up into balls. That's supposed to sort of be like our dirt, I think, in the pot once we get it built, hopefully. And it shows 2 of them in the picture, but I think, and the pot's pretty small. Let's see how much trouble it is to get this one to start. This seems like it wants to unroll a little bit there. Also seems like it's possible to start. How's this? Maybe from the middle. Maybe. Okay, that bit rigorous. Okay, so try and work this one. Make it sure it's good and ready to be wrapped when the time comes. Okay. Okay. Doesn't seem like that paper is going to be strong enough to support being wrapped like that, but that is what the instructions is saying. Okay. Well, maybe it is. Find something approximate size of ink pen cap. Okay. No. How about over here? No. That was close. Oh, wait a second. Paintbrush. Not perfect, but that's good. I think I can work with that. Let's see what happens. So we are going to have to glue it down to start with, obviously, so I think seems like a hot glue situation to me. Get it anchored in place. The flap is on top here, so I'm going to go this way so I'm not pulling against my flap. And see if I can get a small enough dab on here to get things going. It's turned blue. It's supposed to be working. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Not showing up for y'all, but it's on there. Even at the bottom. Okay. Okay, that wasn't working. Okay, that is actually doing better than I thought it would, so that's good. So that's, I guess I need to try and go over top of the first layer, double it up. Okay, so I'm going to hit another dab right at the end of the rope. Okay, bring it all the way over and just close it up. None of this is in the instructions, this is just me trying to figure it out as I go along. Okay, probably need... Let me... I think at this point I'm going to make a mess and just do a fair amount of glue all around it now that I got it anchored in. Hopefully it'll stick quick enough to make it. Oh, stay up. Let's find out. More. Okay, so that now. Another dab of the hot glue to hold it in place. And here. Okay. I'll be honest, I was not expecting this to go, even if it all falls apart now, I wasn't expecting it to work this good. I'm going to try and do another, I think I'll just show it from this side. Okay. So, what? Yeah, okay. I'll be honest, I saw the instructions on this and I was concerned, but that's actually really pretty nice. Let me put a little more dab on there just to hold that little flap in place, I hope. Like I say, I'm going to have this side facing forward, sort of obscure as much of it as I can. Shave off. Okay. Who knew that was going to happen? Okay. And now, I think, to sort of cut out the middleman, I'm going to try and build this guy in place. So gently bring this in. Should be fairly stable. But this plant going to go right here in this corner. Yeah. So I'm going to go. The B7000 around the bottom. Generous bead. And got my right side showing. Sticking to the glue everywhere. And I don't know if I can get a few drops in there, maybe. It'll separate. Really? Come on, get in there. A little more on top, and then start hitting these guys with the glue, I think. Hopefully everything will be sticking together once it goes in there. Or not. But gotta keep going. A couple of spots where I can get branches in. And I think that's about as much as I should be able to get one in the back, it looks like. Maybe add some depth to it. Go with you. Almost got glue on the tweezers now, so it's destroying everything. Okay, that didn't work, but there we go. Go down the side there. Okay. Right. There's our little plant. I was not expecting to I'm very shocked and pleased that that worked that well. And I had this much left over of my plant and dirt, so I don't think I need more than I've got in there right now. I think I might have made mine a little bit taller than intended, but it still works for me. Okay, so set you aside. It's now time to bring back out the old nozzle of precision. It's gonna make our desk chair, which in theory should be fairly straightforward. So it goes across here, and then this on the bottom. Decide which way I want to go. It says to put these legs on first, but I think I'm going to I think I like putting it on, got that cross member there first. I think it'll be easier. Of course, bad things happen when I think too, so who knows. Huh. Yeah, we got a shot at getting done tonight. At least I was. Okay, I'm cautiously optimistic now. Okay. And do me a bead. I'll get my glue roll here. Pressure down. Okay, a little off center, but fairly close to flat, so that's good. Okay, so excess here, I'm going to try and clean off here. A little seepage. Okay. This guy will go on front here. Oh, let's do another. Couple of dots on the ends here. And go. It's, like I say, a little off center on the seat, but at this scale I think we're going to be okay. And, oh, okay, like that. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna, while I'm going, I'm going to go ahead and tack this guy down too. The legs are supposed to be sort of askew here. Something like that. Okay. And this is my last official bucket of parts. I'm going to start. I got one more book to make, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. And then I got like a suitcase to fiddle around with. Okay, so. But this one we actually get to leave sort of open. Okay, it's got pictures and everything in it, so that's cool. Okay. What I can do with my books, get my score. And turn. I know I've got to keep pressure on top of the paper when I do this. I have to remind myself every time I start. Good. Let's maybe pre-bend them first this time. Insides of our book. Our cover. It's got the, you can barely see the dashes that made them yellow there. But I think I can hit them. It really shows where I scored them on that light. Yeah. Book shape ready. Let's just go in there. I gotta write it upside down though. Not that anybody would ever know, but yeah. Okay. Looks like it's gonna be pretty good. Got a couple of dots on either end, and we should be ready to roll with this. Back here. just wanted to do this because I can knock it out of the way quickly. Let's see, sort of stays open like that, and that goes in, gets to sit in our chair. So I'll do it like that with the cover. I don't know, maybe too much stuff to. I don't think it's gonna. Too many things for it to. Cameras. No. Nothing to see on the cover anyway. Okay. Back to the B7000 for this. So I'll put the edge of the nozzle onto it. That'd be sticky enough. Just sitting there in the chair. So we have it a little more that way, but I think basic effect still works. Okay. Now, what is that? It's over 30 minutes. Yeah, I think I may go a little bit long tonight just to finish up, because all we got left is to make a little suitcase, which I'm a little worried about these pieces, so they may not make the cut. I'll make a shot at them, but our handle and our straps and everything. Got that a little bit lighter for this. Otherwise, this and our dust cover and our sign, and then wiring it, gluing the battery box and everything up. Yeah, we're gonna be. Yeah, I think we might. I'm getting more and more optimistic as we go along here. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, make some rolls first. Leather sticks out here. And that little flap out. Convince one or two drops of super glue to go on there. Get them to come out of the bottle. Alright. Okay. Get 3 of those guys to make. Trying to buy some new super glue. I think the bottles get too empty to be used like this. Okay. Almost tempted to leave it unglued just because I think it looks nice to have a nice sort of loose scroll, but I'm scared if I do it'll just gradually unglue all the way around, unroll all the way around. That one. There it goes. Okay. 3 scrolls done. Oh yeah, there are little, forgot about that. Gotta do little stickers that go on the outside. Not just scraps. Okay, but first thing, I gotta do some scoring on my suitcase here. So it does good job of showing the score lines on there. Then sort of looks like I think I got them all. Let's see, it's supposed to be a suitcase, so those guys go down. And that. So that's going to come into this one. Okay, so get the glue to come down here. Okay, that seems to be cooperating. Here. Didn't leave much meat there to glue to. And the fun thing about this suitcase is it's actually supposed to be propped open a little bit, so that's a whole different level of challenge here. So trying to figure that out too. This one. Once again, there's not much if you do this set, leave you some more meat on these tabs, so you get a little more to glue with here, because I think that's going to be the weak point of this suitcase. But I think it'll work, but I think it'd be easier if I had more surface area to glue with. I can't get in there to apply pressure there or something. Okay. Not perfect, but maybe it'll look okay from the front. Let's that up and fold it over the top once we get in place. Okay, so I got splash on there. Okay. Okay, I guess we're supposed to sort of glue it sort of halfway open, so should be able to do that. Just a little touch of glue in one corner maybe. Okay, so yeah, sort of gets us sort of what we're looking for, I think. And see, they do have the pictures of our clasps and everything. And I'm looking at the final build. There's no way you're ever going to see the back of this thing. So I am not even going to bother with these guys, which are supposed to run. Okay, they're actually supposed to be hanging over the top. I might try those. I didn't. But I'm not going to worry about the little bitty guys, because they do go on the back. And I'm not going to worry about these little stickers, because they're on the back too, because it's going to sit right here underneath, sort of underneath our drawer. So I don't think we're going to be able to see any of it. And I just looked right through there. I'm not sure I left enough room for the dust cover to go on. Yeah, I can force it. Just do some cutting on that hot glue. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to try to do my handle. And I'll see about doing these straps that are supposedly hanging down. Back to the teeny tiny pieces. I'm not overly confident about making the cuts on them. This one, I think the only way I'm going to be able to do that is with a knife. Clearance on. Okay, try this way. Okay. it's supposed to be sort of bowed up in the middle, so we got some. Don't actually need that here right now. Goes. Oh, it's on this side. So let me have you bend in it and get the glue down the one side. I can anchor it on other side up. There. And tweezer blade underneath it. And push it down the other side. It worked a little bit. Okay. And I have reservations about my ability to do this one either, but I said I'd try. So. Since these are technically visible. Hand. Not quick cut paper. There it goes. Tearing it there at the end, but I don't think it's going to cooperate with me. Okay. Not great, but it did. Okay. Yep. I didn't get it cleaned up very well. A lot of white on there, but let me. I'm gonna roll this one a little bit too. That'll it easier to pick up, and two, I think it'll make it look more realistic to hang that over the edge. Out of the way. Cap back on the knife so I don't cut myself. And I'm just going to hang it one end. Looks like the glue's got some back pressure on it, so let me just dip it in there. And not there. Okay, well, I got the glue on the other end. Yep, I did. Well, I've got the glue everywhere now. It's not letting go. Okay, we're not going to have straps. Okay. Now these guys are supposed to go down in the bottom of our suitcase, and then we're going to proceed to cover them up with scrolls, so we ain't going to be able to see them anyway, but supposedly that's what we do with it. I think I might have an idea though. I'm going to see how it works. I'm going to do this one, roll on it. Bottom back there. And see if I can't sort of it's sitting up and well. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have it sitting up over on the side maybe. Hopefully having these things sort of peeking out of the suitcase. As a matter of fact, peeking out, I think I said that. I'm gonna do a good curl on this one. Hope is okay. It appears to be drying up here. On that end, I actually have you hanging out over here. And then, yeah. And I think I'm going to have one underneath the suitcase as well. Just, you know, they went to all the trouble of printing this stuff. I think it ought to be showing. Maybe have two of them on the inside, on the outside. This one hanging off the front. Maybe just have it. I have paper stacked everywhere, so it's my new plan, hanging off the top. Clean out my nozzle here, I think. Get one there. Okay. Back to having glue all over my hand again. Okay, so now you guys bring in my, I say it's supposed to be sitting in this general area, so let's Let's check it. These were. And this one, okay. Here. So I'll take our suitcase. Both those guys are still showing. Now, get these guys in place. The biggest one. Just drop. And next. Move it around on me now. I think I might have this one. Do my own thing with it facing coming out the front. Why not? And that's where mine ended up. Okay. But that actually completes the build part. So now it's just a matter of setting up our, since I decided against doing all the decorations on the back of the suitcase that you'll never see. Let me go here and do some, I got to decide to go crazy and try and do that dust cover. So I can't get that glob of glue out of that way, there. Okay, we'll take a little chunk out, I think. Yeah, that'll fit in there. I'm trying to think, let's see, got to do, what am I doing? Switch, oh, I'm going to cut out the hole for a switch here, forget about that. Don't want to mess up my they say to mount the switch from the inside, but on these sets I've always found it's better for the switch to go through hole. That way the pressure keeps it in place, so you don't have to worry about the time I didn't do this, I'm actually mounted it on the inside like the instructions said. As soon as I started using the switch, I pushed it off the mounting, so this gets to brace it in place pretty good. So let me drop some glue in on both sides. Squish you in. Probably should have done this before I mounted all that stuff on top of it here, because I'm scared it's all going to fall out once I start moving it around. But que sera, sera. Let's see, I'm just going to mount battery like right there in the middle, so I just got good space for my wires. I don't want to go. I use the old hot glue for this. Let's reach everything. Okay. Wires are in there. Everybody's playing nice and staying in place. These. I got my wires crossed in there. Okay. You need about that much. For the time being, I think I'm just going to twist them on. I'm not going to. Get them all. It's pretty low voltage, so I'm not too worried about shocks or anything. They're shorts. You need about there. That's hot glue on there. Hot glue down here. And you came out. Stay down. Okay. Now I guess, okay, good, it does work. Should have tested that before I glued them down, but it all turned out right in the end. Okay, now the dust cover. Oh, it's actually one more detail before I go over to trying the dust cover. I can't remember if I've succeeded on any of them or not. Label. Excessive amount, supposed to be 7,000 for this, but nice little swizz around, get the glue spread out and labeled on there. Everything nice and compact. The switch works perfect. Yeah. Even our plant's staying in place over there. I'm loving that. Okay, so now there are, I think, 3 sizes here. Yeah, one slightly, one got 2 exactly the same, one slightly skinnier and one shorter. So this one is the top, and this one would be the front, and these are the sides. So those. Nope. That, these, and this is shorter. Yeah, this is shorter. So these go on the outside of this one. That's the top. Get a dry fit. Okay. So dry fit. So you go here, go here, here. And this is on top. Okay, so that's what we want to happen. Get out my square. And I think do it like this so I got that. Let's do, I know which side peels easiest. I'll do that for the top. I don't see this. Okay, so the shiny side seems to peel easier, so I want to peel the matte side. Yeah, that's harder to peel, so peel the matte side first before we glue. And I guess same height. You are the front, so we got to do these two together. This to the inside. Let's see. Get this guy off of there. All right. Looks like, okay, and the top goes down flush with the top. It goes on the, just sits on top of all of them, so it should be on the outside of everything. Okay. So this is the back one, is the skinny one. So it goes outside. So this goes down, this goes in on top of it. Is the plan. Yeah. Okay. Let's see this. And make sure I get the peeled sides to the inside. One last double check. Okay, so here. Okay, now. One last nozzle of precision. My plan is to use 3 dots on this guy. I'm not going to try and make it go all the way up and down. I think that's where I made my mistake last time. Maybe 4 dots. Okay, 5 dots. Okay, so bring you into this. Okay, give that another 4 seconds. And it didn't stick. We're not having a dust cover. It was a long shot. It's not going to cooperate with me. I'm not going to force it to. Just going to be satisfied with where I'm at. Maybe I should have went for more coverage on it. But I am still pretty pleased with that. Nice little scene for us. Corners of Happiness always seem to turn out looking nice. I think I've had one that I wasn't really super impressed with, and that in person it's not that bright. It doesn't wash everything out. Let me me see if I can just do sort of, I can't, but to say it does, well, it looks really nice. Nice little scene for, I think, $13–14. It's a little nerve-wracking in bits and pieces, but overall really nice. I can't, it's hard to recommend something this, I say, so picky on the teeny tiny pieces, but it's a fun little challenge if you're up for it. That being said, thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share, do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another, stay safe, and click on a link. There's my channel up there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel if you want to see me do experiments a couple of times a month. That is what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and over here is the playlist for this whole build. I'll see you tomorrow.